How can you find out what you want from life? How you figure out and find out what you want from life is realizing, firstly, why do you not know what you want from life? And that is because, firstly, realizing that you do know, but what's hazing you is the conditioning, is the beliefs you've been passed along your journey. Think about this. No child is ever born lacking clarity, right? Child is clear. They know what they want. Yes? But as we get brought up in society, we get told different rules in terms of what we should strive for, what our gender perhaps is capable of achieving, or what our age or somebody who is our personality type should go for, right? A lot of rules. And then you get told from your neighbor, you shouldn't pursue that job, right? I heard somebody has failed pursuing that one. Don't go for it. I think it's a sham. Whatever it is, right? We just hear it. And as we grow up older, we literally get to a point where we're so good at pleasing everybody else because we know what others want from us, but we don't really know what we want from ourselves because we have just given away that sense of power to everybody else. So the first thing you must do to really arrive is you've got to admit how lost you really are. To find yourself, you've got to really be willing to lose yourself. Because most of us have painted and literally created a life using what's called pre-packaged dreams. And it is these dreams that the media, the world has given you. And we're striving for that. But you'll notice any time you've ever strived for somebody else's dream, it never made you feel whole. It made you feel more empty. Yes or no? And that's because you can never have enough of what you really don't want. Right? So you got to get clear of what do you want. And that starts from you honoring your wants, even in the smallest ones. Instead of saying, I don't know what I want, you got to ask yourself, if you did know, what would it be? Right? Instead of saying, I can't have it, ask yourself, if I could have it all, what would I want to achieve? Right? By you honoring these little wants, you'll get a little bit more clear, a little bit clearer in terms of you arriving at that place. At the same time, if you're totally misaligned, as in you're totally confused, you got to try and get some space in your life. Why is this so hard to clarify things we really want in our day-to-day life? Because wouldn't you agree, our day-to-day life is pretty stimulating in a sense that it's reminding us of who we've always been, right? Not who we want to become, the life we're looking to create, right? So think about this. Your habitat contains all these habits. And the habit is a habit of you thinking the same way, being the same way, acting the same way, and those people triggering you the same way. So our literal environment is trapping us, not allowing us to look outside of this bubble we've created for ourselves. And this is why you'll notice even young people sometimes understand how trapped they are. And this is why you've maybe perhaps heard from a student, I'm going traveling to find myself. And you notice it's not so much the traveling that's helping them, it's more them getting away from home that's allowing them to see, right, the new possibilities that exist beyond our own intellect, right? So we got to remind ourselves, we can either spend our life protecting and defending this pretty sandcastle we've created called our reality, or we can spend the rest of our life exploring outside of this sandcastle, deconstructing this sandcastle, for new ideas, through new thoughts, for new people, more inspiring people coming away, giving you new suggestions, right? And for those of you who've ever surrounded yourself with different people before, you know how true this really is. Anytime you are surrounding yourself with new people, you're like, wow, people don't all think the same, right? Yes or no, by the way? I spent a lot of my childhood, teenage years in a small town, and everyone around me has small town thinking. For those of you who've ever been in a small town, you know what that is normally like, is restriction, constriction, scarcity, right? At the same time, you know, a big part of the Korean culture is about, of course, honoring your parents and so forth. So I never honored myself, never, because it wasn't really ingrained in my culture. This is why a very difficult question you could ask yourself is, how are you honoring your parents right now? Even if they're not here, how are you honoring your parents right now? What does that even mean to you? Because for some people, that means repressing yourself for the rest of your life to ensure that they're always happy of you. For others, it means something totally different.